Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittnee. Today I'll be showing you a chocolate snack bar design using gold, some blues, and natural milk chocolate color as the background. You guys know that a couple weeks back I made my grandma a chocolate puzzle for her birthday. Also, thanks for all the birthday wishes to my grandma. That was so cute of you guys. Well, we also celebrated my grandpa's birthday that same day because their birthdays are only a couple days apart. Of course, I wanted to also make my grandpa a special birthday gift, so I made him some decorated salted caramel brownie bars just for him. His favorite color is blue, so I chose two blue colors to use, and then I added in a green just to add variety. I wanted this design to be a little more masculine, so I decided to go with a natural chocolate color as the background, but my grandpa doesn't like dark chocolate, so I went with milk chocolate. And because I just can't resist, I had to add in a little bit of gold just to make the bars a little more special. I love how this design turned out, and it's become one of my favorites, especially using that wavy bar mold. The design is also super easy and doesn't require many supplies, which is great. So let's get going. Here are the supplies that you'll need. Pre-colored cocoa butter colors in the colors Blue Peafowl, Blue Lagoon, and Emerald. Gold cocoa butter. This one I made myself using pure cocoa butter and adding 10% edible gold luster dust from Genere Cakes. This wavy snack bar mold from Martelato. And some small triangle craft brush sponges. You could also use round ones too, but I found the triangle very satisfying, how it ended up fitting right into the shape of the bar mold. First, I shine up my bar mold really quick using a microfiber cloth. The mold is clean, so just a quick buff is enough to prepare the mold. You can also do this with a cotton ball or pad. For this bar design, I start with my gold cocoa butter. I first swipe the sponge up to create lines on that bar edge, and then I scrape the sponge from that corner across the bottom of the bar. I have one flat side of the sponge pressed into the corner so that the point of the triangle points toward the direction that I'm swiping into the bar mold. I like the look of this because it ends up creating varied line lengths across the bar. To prevent getting too much cocoa butter absorbed into my sponge, I like to swirl the cocoa butter up against the edge of my container and then press the sponge against the edge rather than dip it completely into the cocoa butter. But if you do get too much, just dab the sponge onto a paper towel. An important thing to mention here as well is that because I created this gold cocoa butter myself by mixing loose gold luster dust with cocoa butter, and I can't guarantee that this luster dust has been tested to be microwave safe. When I heat this gold cocoa butter, I always do so using my heat gun. I didn't film that process for this video, so if you want to see a visual demonstration, check out the video linked in this card or in the description down below. But essentially what I do is slowly warm up the cocoa butter to 45 degrees Celsius using my heat gun. Then I cool it to 27, and then I warm it to between 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, also using the heat gun, never putting it in the microwave. Next, I temper the dark blue cocoa butter, the one called Blue Peafowl. Just so you guys are aware, the Pastry Chef's Boutique colors don't contain white, so they will be somewhat translucent. Of course, the darker the color, the more it'll block out the background. So I applied this dark blue basically in the same pattern as the gold, up on the bar end, and then swipe from the corner across the bar. You'll notice with the gold, I swiped the bar twice, once down the middle, and then once more on the far flat side. So with this blue, I did the same, but I tried to vary the lengths of the lines by extending the distance I swipe, especially up along that top edge. Next, I temper the emerald color and apply it into the mold using that triangle sponge brush again. You'll notice this time I focused swiping on the opposite flat side of the wavy mold. This is just because I wanted each of the three colors to show and not overlap too much. Now for this last color, Blue Lagoon, I wanted to make sure it did a decent job of blocking out the milk chocolate background, especially because it's a bit of a lighter color. So I mixed it with Chef Rubber Alabaster White. That would make sure it's more opaque, which would help it show better, along with also help back the dark blue and green colors as well. For the design, I apply it once again, basically the same, up the edge of the bar, and then when I swipe the mold, I focus just on going down the middle and past all of the other colors. Once again, just to keep a variation in the line lengths of all the colors. So originally for my grandpa, I was just going to make one mold, the wavy one, but I realized I would have leftover caramel and brownies, so I may as well make a second mold while I was at it. So I just repeat the exact same process for the design into this half cylinder bar mold. And here's what the final design looks like in both mold shapes before molding the chocolates. The blue and green ones are the ones for my grandpa, and then the other ones I kept it more plain to fill and share with the rest of my family. Next step, you guys know the drill. I temper some milk chocolate using the seeding method and a microwave safe bowl. Notice that for the main chocolate amount, I am using leftover chocolate. Just as a reminder, you can use tempered or even untempered chocolate for the main amount in the seeding method. But your seeds need to be tempered chocolate because those are what add and encourage stable crystals to form in the rest of the chocolate. And if you're confident your leftover chocolate is tempered well, you can use it as seeds. But just to be safe, I recommend always using fresh callets from the bag as your seeds. And if some of you are new here and aren't familiar with chocolate tempering yet, you can check out some of my tutorials that I've linked down below in the description box. The seeding method is really pretty easy and very reliable. It doesn't matter how you melt the chocolate in the microwave, a double boiler, or in a warming tank, it all works the same. I find when I'm doing just a couple of molds, I don't bother with my chocolate warming tank, and I just like to temper about 2 pounds of chocolate in a plastic bowl. Now, here's a little trick for you guys when you are doing a natural chocolate background, whether it be white, milk, or dark. To increase the shine a little bit, before you shell the chocolates, you first swipe the inside of the mold with a really thin layer of your tempered chocolate. The reason this increases the shine is that because this layer is so thin, it allows the tempered chocolate to set up super quick, which makes it more glossy. Another thing that you can do to increase the shine of natural chocolate color is to spray a thin layer of plain cocoa butter or cocoa butter mixed with chocolate before molding. In fact, this sounds like a fun video idea. I think I will make a video comparing the different ways to increase shine when molding chocolate and see how different they really are and if any of the techniques are actually worth the effort. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just swiping a thin layer into the bar mold. It obviously doesn't have to be a perfectly even coating or even cover the whole mold. Just try to touch as much of the mold as you can with the chocolate. After wiping chocolate in the mold, I just clean the mold with a scraper and set it aside to set up. Now I shell the chocolate bars as I normally do. You guys may have noticed I really love using the piping bag lately to fill the cavities, especially when I'm molding just a couple of molds because it helps me keep things clean. Remember that you can spread your leftover chocolate out on a piece of parchment paper, let it set up, and then break it up to reuse it again next time. And I get this question a lot, but yes, you must temper chocolate every single time you use it. Think of it this way. As soon as you melt the chocolate, it resets the temper. So untempered chocolate and even tempered chocolate is untempered again the minute you melt it. So that is why, yes, you must temper it again, even if it's already been tempered before. Now, best practice is to let your chocolate shells set overnight before filling because it takes at least 24 hours for chocolate to fully crystallize. But when you're practicing or just sharing chocolate, you don't need to be so strict with things. I made these chocolate bars in just a day, and they were also eaten that same day. So after they set up, I filled them with a nice layer of salted caramel and then filled the rest with fudge brownie. I actually have a video on these brownies if you're interested, and I'll also post a link for the recipe down below. After filling the bars, I tempered another small batch of milk chocolate and sealed them up. Per usual, I let them first set up at room temperature and then pop them in the fridge for about 30 minutes to contract from the mold. And here are the final bars. To present them to my grandpa, I boxed them up in my favorite boxes from Pastry Chef's Boutique. I just removed the little plastic inserts that come with the boxes and load in the bars. I absolutely love how this design turned out, and my favorite is the wavy mold. Which mold is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, that is a chocolate snack bar design idea for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you learned something new. Let me know down in the comments what color combinations you think would look good with this design. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video. It helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see something else that's sweet, just click on one of these thumbnails. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.